Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik Ziiq here again today to bring you another episode of Let's Play Banished. And this is post-commentary episode number 2. Unfortunately my computer my motherboard didn't exactly fry, but that's what I thought had gone on. As it turns out, my current BIOS was not up to date, so it wasn't compatible with my new graphics card that I got for Christmas, so my computer eventually just broke down. Had to take it in for repairs and pay $75 for a BIOS update, which was not very fun because I've heard flashing the BIOS is super easy, and I could have just done it myself, but I would have never guessed that, so I am a few days behind on content, and I recorded this. I was going to do post-commentary on it, and then I just kind of forgot about it. So yeah, here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. I have no idea what's going on here. I do need to assign myself enough farmers in order to work all my fields. I think what I want to do this episode is quite possibly build a tavern so I can actually get some beer going on. As you can see, my happiness both my happiness and my health are not at their ideal at the moment, but they could be in the future. Found a trader here. What do you have to offer me? Squash seeds. Right now I'm not actually all that interested in trading. I don't have that much to trade to him, and I especially am not that interested in seeds because I actually have plenty of seeds and plenty of crops going on. Plenty of craps. I play all the craps, motherfucker. I don't even understand. I don't even know how to play craps. Is craps that game with the dice where you have to like choose which dice to keep and which dice to re-roll, and you play against other people to try to get the highest roll or the most points? Is that what craps is? I don't know. But if it is, I'm pretty happy that I got it correctly. So I'm building a second schoolhouse. As you can see, I currently have 20 students, and that is the maximum amount that can be held in one schoolhouse. So I decided that I definitely need a schoolhouse and that I kind of need some more happiness. I checked the church. It has like a fuck ton of members. I'm like, well, what the hell? What do you guys want from me? You want booze? Because I'd want booze if I were you guys. So that's what I decide, that they definitely need all the booze. I do realize that my market space is actually kind of wasted because, well, this entire neighborhood is within the circle. I also have pastures girding it, which is not really ideal. You want this whole area around the marketplace to be residential if possible. Fortunately, I seem to have gotten extra nomads here right when I was running out of workers, so as you can see I have 9 extra laborers right now, which I should assign to like the forester and the gatherer group if possible. Just keep my food supply up. But I also need to keep my foresting supply up. Come on, I need those forests. I need a forest bow twice my size. Well, probably not quite twice my size. The size of my village and the size of my forest that I'm farming doesn't quite have to be equivalent. As you can see, I'm kind of planning on expanding out to the right there. I have the bridge built. I'm already clearing some of the area. Eventually, I'm going to be building another market, but I'm not sure when exactly that is going to be. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing here. So first things first, I build a storage barn because I find that the distance at which these farmers are traveling is kind of inefficient. Not to mention some extra storage barns that never go amiss. Well, they sometimes go amiss, probably. Like if I just built the entire village full of storage barns, that'd probably be too many storage barns. And to be honest, I already have quite a few storage barns here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. A couple houses being completed. Again, like last episode, I'm kind of working on efficiency of route, making sure that all the people who work in certain locations are very good at getting to those locations. Excuse me, just taking a drink of my coffee. Yeah, so what happened here, just like last episode, is I failed to capture any of the game audio or my commentary, so I just had the game running in the background on pause mode in order to get some proper volume going on. As you can see, quite a few of my children are actually growing up, so I can actually max out the foresters now. I haven't maxed the hunters for quite a while, but to be honest, the hunters are actually getting pretty damn outdated. Excuse me. As you can see, there's kind of some inefficiencies going on over there. The people from the 2 houses that I built in order to work the forestry cabin are not actually working in the forestry lodge. So I think I decided that I want to build at least 1 more house down there, and that seems to fix things. Just looking through all the menus, it's very important to know where all the menus are and what to check and how to organize your town as efficiently as possible. And that's something I didn't really do for the first, well, 20 years of the game, to be honest. It's just been within the last 7 years that I've been trying to organize my workspace, as it were, as you were. So I increased the log limit because there's no point in having such a low log limit, especially when I'm not anywhere near even hitting the maximum. I have actually hit a population of 100 people, but not 100 working people. That is 62 workers, 20 students, and 22 children. And what I really could use right away is this school being done, because I am entirely certain that there are children not being educated. I also decided that I'm probably going to need more firewood to support all the nomads and all the houses that are going on. Not to mention, I still really like having firewood for trading, and I have maxed out all 3 forester lodges right now. And while forester lodges aren't incredibly efficient, if you have one, it will produce enough for one woodcutter and a bit more, is what I have found so far for this game. Although that might not be entirely true. Again, just trying to work on efficiency here. So I place a stockpile down so they don't have to travel so far. Hopefully the people working at the market can actually go and pick up logs in order to deal with that stockpile. Assigning my 1 builder to try to finish off that goddamn school. I really can't do much with the 25 farmers at the moment. The 25 farmers need to keep working on their food. Because right now I have a population of, well over 100 at this point. And I need the food in order to sustain them, to grow them. So just checking out the graveyard here for no particular reason. I don't remember why I did this either. But as you can see, some of the gravestones are actually starting to deteriorate. So eventually I will be able to get more people shoved into those graveyards. Apparently buried right where the other people are. Not exactly sure how I deal with that, but you know. Seems legit. I set the farmers for 0 temporarily. I've actually heard that farmers get secondary tasks during the winter, but at this point I don't care. I just want to reassign them, get them to do better and more efficient things. Eddard Stark? I don't know. Random Game of Thrones name. Like, subscribe, favorite. I don't know. I have a hard time talking about shit when I'm not actually doing shit. I guess I could, like, juggle and talk about that, but I can't actually juggle, so all you'd hear is, like, a bunch of thumping. And not to mention, if I were gonna juggle, I'd want to juggle chainsaws, and I don't currently have chainsaws with me. As you can see, my sheep are growing, but they're growing quite slowly. You do actually produce wool as sheep, you just don't produce mutton. Or wool with sheep starting right away, you just don't produce mutton, and you don't produce much wool. So, as you can see, I'm low on logs. I decided that I need to cut down some more trees. So I just keep my farmers assigned as laborers. I've probably actually selected a far too large of an area there. Oh well, shit happens. 25 laborers a-working. Oh, the laborers, they are a-working. The warmth of your population actually also depends on how far they leave, or how far they have to travel to go to work, because they want to keep in warm places, and if they have to travel too far, they'll get cold, and they'll stay cold for much longer. So checking there, as you can see, I've actually produced a lot of beef in that place so far. This one, not so much, but still pretty decent. I guess the one downwards is a tiny bit bigger. But just the fact that I'm producing beef and leather means that, and the fact that I have sheep as well, means that I can eventually start producing warm clothes, and warm clothes can be sold for like huge amounts of trade. I haven't actually tried yet, but so I've heard. I don't know, I've just been told. As you can see, I'm currently not even filling one of my 2 schools, but I think that will change pretty soon with 27 kids starting to grow up. I may actually need to build more houses to support my population soon. But But for now, I'm actually perfectly fine with my, like, steady population of not... My steady population of not. I have no idea what I actually plan to say there. Increase the priority several times. The increase priority tool is great, but sometimes it doesn't seem to work properly, so I like to just drag it over 2 or 3 times to make sure. As you can see, I actually managed to maintain a good amount of food over the winter. It's late winter and I still have 3,000 food, so apparently I am doing something right. And I think it be farming. Be farming, think it I be. It be farming, think I be it. Like how my community is mostly centralized. That is another good thing about my current setup. I am always a fan of a centralized community. And I do have some houses like hanging off to the left, off to the right, in places where people are going to be working anyways. But to be honest, it doesn't matter that much. It does not matter that much because those houses are A, within my the range of the market, or B, absolutely necessary to make working more efficient. And the big community in the middle is the main farming community. So I think I actually have a decent setup here. I look down there just to make sure that that stockpile is actually being used and isn't a complete waste of time. I'm kind of shocked by the fact that it looks like there's a tree growing out of the middle of it, but that does not matter at all. Adderall doesn't matter at all. Adderall does matter to a lot of people quite a bit. You know that Adderall is highly related to speed? Because it is. I guess that's the only remark. And I'm pretty sure I've made that remark before, especially when I'm just kind of doing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Oh god, I still have 30 minutes left in this episode. Oh no. Why? Okay, guys. 1 second. I'm going to actually start fast forwarding this thing probably to 2 times speed, starting... Oh, I don't even know how to increase the speed. Okay, starting about now. I'm pretty sure that's 2 times. No, that's 1.57. There we go, 2 times speed. Okay, hopefully I can actually edit that fairly well in post-processing, because apparently I'm actually going to do some post-processing. But I wasn't enjoying how slow things were going, and I don't have time to be doing post-commentary. I don't like post-commentary. I'm not enjoying myself. Well, I'm kind of enjoying myself. I'm just drinking my coffee, having a good time. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, I remember how to fast forward. This should be fairly easy to do this in post-processing. All I have to do is kind of like drag it and fit it while holding control, if I remember properly, in Sony Vegas. Program I picked up, but I don't actually use all that much because I goddamn hate editing. Okay, I actually record all my videos via XSplit, which instantly records and captures directly to MP4 audio, video, game audio. And not only that, but I can also see the audio balance in this little like speaker, and I can see exactly how loud my voice is compared to the game audio. But a lot of people do it this way. They record their audio via Audacity and their video via Fraps or maybe some other capture program, and then they edit it together later. And then they can choose the volumes more carefully. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I'm not even sure what I'm talking about. As you can see, I have finally built that other construction area. I've started work on a brewery in order to increase my happiness, because my happiness has gone down to 4 stars and I don't exactly know why. I have a church, I have graveyards. Maybe it's because people are dying, and I have 69 population. Perfect number. Maybe it's because a fair amount of my population is dying and I don't have room in the graveyards. That actually makes sense, but I decided instead of wasting more space on graveyards that I actually want to start a brewery, because, you know, it's a town service I don't yet possess. And if you know anything about me, is that I like to possess everything. It must be possessed by me. I was actually going to produce like a pumpkin ale, which I thought was going to be really cool, but it wouldn't let me, so I changed it to wheat. or change that field to wheat, so the travel distance that the brewer has to take in order to get their material is lessened. Should also probably build a house next to that, like, brewery slash storage barn slash school area, maybe even 2 houses, in order to work all these fields properly and a bit better. But the reason I don't do that is I figured that I have such a big neighborhood just like right centralized in the middle that I don't need to. Either way though, up to 73 population, as you can see, and now 22 students, which makes building the second school worth it. I like to have my entire population educated, even if it does take a couple people, well, all their time. If it's taking a couple people all their time, the job's being done right, and everybody is working more efficiently, and I like that. I like efficient working. It's one of the things that I do. It's why I never actually LP a game completely blind. I like to at least give it a trial, work out the system, see what's going on. I will actually work the game, or I'll play the game mostly blind after that in order to just kind of give you my real reactions and experience. But I'm not going to go in and have to learn how to go through all the tutorials with you guys watching me, because that would be boring. I'm sorry, the reason I bring this up is recently somebody found my not Roos, what's it called? Rogue Legacy Let's Play, and they were like, "Oh, this isn't blind." Well, then I'm not gonna watch. And I'm like, "Fuck! I played like an hour before. I played 1 hour before I started, and the only reason I played that hour is so that I could focus on giving commentary at the same time as playing. So fuck you." And I got, as you can see, I got a tiny bit sensitive about it. I thought that the amount that I played was fairly reasonable. But anyways, that's my little story about how one commenter kind of got to me, and I was like, well, I'm sorry, I couldn't help you there. I really want to. I'm not the Let's Player you deserve. I'm just the Let's Player you need, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now I'm just quoting Batman for the fuck of it. So I did apparently decide to build another graveyard and waste some more space. But I really didn't get a choice. To be honest, it is kind of depressing to me that I need 3 graveyards of that size. I lived in Canmore, Alberta, and Canmore was a city of 10,000. We had 1 graveyard. 1. To be honest, I don't really know how graveyards ever keep up with the demand. I guess they have to cycle out graves all the time, or maybe most people just get burnt. Like, immolated? No, that's not the right word. Cremated. Although immolated is the word if you don't just want to be sensitive. Being immolated and being cremated, same thing. Immolated just sounds worse. Or if your opinion runs like mine does, it sounds better because, you know, it's fucking immolated. So right now I'm just checking out, see where I can expand to. I'm also seeing if I can actually build a bridge across long, huge spans of water. Not possible. Not to mention I wouldn't really want to do it anyways, but it kind of confused me why you'd have these huge lakes. To be honest, one of the things I'd like to see in this game in the future is landscaping options. More landscaping options, the options to lower hills. I know I say it like every fucking time I run into a hill in every episode, but Jesus, I need to be able to expand, and to be able to expand I need to be able to like level fucking mountains in this game. Anyways, that's my entire little spiel about how mountain leveling is important. Always level up your mountains. Be sure to like... I don't know what I'm talking about. I do not know. The same things you do not know. So, things are going pretty well. Up to 78 population. Well over 100 now. Like 110. 110, no more to see. To place a brand new market is my destiny. So you can see there's a very, very tiny hill right there that I'm not a big fan of, but I can place houses all around it, so I decided it wouldn't be too bad of a thing to actually place a market down right there. As you can see, I've actually placed it so it covers the most area possible within that circle. Or I'm deciding whether or not to place it right now. Basically, I want the largest possible amount of living space to be around this market. So I put it down, I pause it right away. This is where I'm going to build my future village. I thought I should finally plan for some expansion, build some roads around that fucker. I of course go ahead and build all those roads improperly because I am a twat like that. Twaddle Dee and Twaddle Dum. Both of those were my nicknames in college. I often claim things are my nickname in college. That's probably the most accurate. No. What was I called? Nobody called me anything in college. Everybody always just called me by my full name. I'm not a nickname type of person. I guess I could have had a nickname, that guy with the long hair who plays saxophone. That was more like high school though. Just kind of what I was known for. I was the shit that I did. So as you can see, I'm checking out all the houses now. Pretty much all of them have very efficient paths to work. I should really be upgrading all of these houses here to stone houses. I'm pretty sure that's even what I'm talking about right now in the game. But I don't, well, I do have the material for it, but I don't have the time for it, or the builders, or, well, actually now I have a bunch of laborers too. So sue me, I do have the time for it. Shut up. I just don't wanna. And to be honest, it's very dubious to tell if you actually need to upgrade things in this, because I'm not sure if they use more heat or more firewood if they're in wooden houses, or they won't survive certain types of winter. I just don't know. I just don't know. So I'm only waiting on one more type of livestock right now. All I want is chickens. All I want is chickens. All I want is chickens. I'm not sure if I actually talked about this last episode, post-commentary, but I was thinking it would actually be really cool to have one part of your livestock, like a new livestock, be horses. And you could not only have horses, but you could then start building stables on all like the outskirts of your town, so that people who have faraway jobs could actually go to and from the jobs much faster. And then you could actually build like forestry huts like really far away. And you could also do like transportation via horse cart, and it would be kind of cool. I don't know if it could actually be done in this format, but I'd be pretty psyched about it. So the reason I said all those rocks together just there is because I really thought that my entire population, or that forestry cabin would be more efficient if it could actually plant in all the locations. And right now quite a bit of rock and iron is taking up locations where trees could be growing. As you can see, I already have 59 ale there, probably more ale in total, but I would have to go check that at my town hall. Like maybe there's some in storage right now or at the market. Do I check it? Oh yes, I do indeed check my inventory. I can't see exactly where the alcohol is. Warm coat. Oh, I'm actually in the trading post. My bad, guys. Either way, I start producing warm coats again. I still do not have a full stock of sheep, but it is at least getting there. Now there's more sheep, and the more sheep you have, the faster they reproduce, of course. Of course! And eventually I will also be getting meat from that. Decided to build a nice little road behind there in order to have some easy transportation. And, yeah. So this is where the episode kind of ends. Everything's going well. I have an extra 2 livestock locations. I'm not sure why I decided on 2 of them. Maybe I thought I would split some sheep into one of them eventually. Either way, I know I'm going to have to build a lot of chickens, buy a lot of chickens when the traders come around, which is why I'm producing all these warm coats. And as you can see, the travel distance to those first huts, not very efficient. So that's why I actually built 2 more houses right there. I also did check to make sure they were out of the range of any of the gathering circles or hunting circles or forestry circles, because you really don't want to have structures inside those circles, except for maybe the hunting circle, which all it really matters for the hunters is that it's within a choke point, so that all the animals must pass through. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.